Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different. We're back with another video. Today, we're gonna be doing the last and final part of Mastering Beat. I think it's part four or five, 4 or 5. I forget which one. I'll make sure it be in the. You can read the title. But yeah. So today we're gonna be doing the final part, and we're gonna be getting that final master level, master sound that you're looking for. If you remember in part 1, we went over why would you want to master. Part 2, we did mixed bus compression, which was very dope and very easy to do. Also, we did EQ, or part 3, and then part 4. So it is part 5. So in part 4, we did multi-band compression, and why you would do multi-band compression, compressing each individual band and kind of using it as an EQ also. So today we're gonna be doing the final part, and that's getting that master level. We're gonna be using the limiter. And we're gonna be using the Pro L from Fab Filter, because it's one of my favorite limiters. Easy to use, but like I said, you can use any limiter that you like. It doesn't matter. You can use FL Studio limiter and all that. And also, I'll make sure to do a video doing nothing but stock plugins to show you that you can get a very good master sound with nothing but stock plugins. And also, if you look at the annotations up below, the cards up above, you can check out all the previous videos and catch up on them, refresh yourself. And if you coming to it seeing this one, you can go back and look at parts 1 through 4. So why would you want to limit? Now, limiting is basically getting that volume that you want. You want to be nice and loud, you want to be able to be heard, you want to be competitive. That's one thing about master engineers. Use limiters. They want their music to be competitive, because most artists want their music to be as loud as the tracks that they're trying to compete with. You don't want to have a quiet track compared to a bunch of you don't want to have a quiet track compared to a bunch of loud tracks, because that would just make your music sound inferior, because people always think louder is better. That's one big misconception with the whole mastering thing, and nowadays with the loudness wars, which over time music has gotten louder and louder and louder, and you lost dynamic range because everybody just squashing it and just boosting to the ceiling. I like to get a nice loud signal, but I still like to retain some of the characteristics of the beat, the transients and all that. So I like to use very transparent limiting, but still get that volume, but still keep it to where it's loud enough, but it's not so loud that it's just squashed. So setting the limiter is actually very, very simple when it comes to doing mastering limiter. One thing I always keep in mind is I try to get no more than 6 dB of gain reduction, or 8 if I'm pushing it a little harder, like for rock or anything like that, more aggressive type songs. I like to keep my ceiling between -0.3 and -0.5, just to keep it safe. Today we're probably using 0.5 ceiling, just to keep it under control. And you want to use very transparent compression. Now in this EQ, in this limiter, what I like is you have 3 different styles. You have overall, which works for pretty much anything, dynamic, punchy, and then transparent. I like to use the transparent function. Now if you use Isotopes limiter or maximizer, it has a transparent function and crunchy and all that, so you can experiment. And then, like I said, you don't really need to mess with the attack and release unless you want to get really, really detailed into it. I'm not going to today, but if you want to make a video explaining attack and release in a limiter, I'm going to show you. So let's listen to our beat and see what we got at first before we add in that limiting and get that volume. So here we go. Nice. Very, very good. It still sounds really good, but we need that volume. We need it loud. We need to be able to where you ain't got to turn your headphones all the way up just to hear the beat. So let's add some limiting in it. So first, I like to say set my ceiling. Now the ceiling is called output, but most limiters like the L2 from Waves and FL Studios limiter and stuff like that, they have a ceiling. So I'm gonna set mine to -0.5. And that's just gonna keep it from going, really distorting and going crazy. Now I'm gonna push the gain up. The gain is basically like the threshold. Like in most limiters, you have a threshold, and the gain is the threshold for this one. So what I'm gonna do is just bring it up until we start getting some gain reduction. Like I said, I'm trying to hit, -6 dB gain reduction. Not trying to go no further than that, because that way it'll still get a very loud signal, and it won't be so limited that it'll just be hyper compressed. Now you might want to turn your headphones down just a little bit, because it's going to get loud, just to give you a forewarning before I do this. So let's do it. So I always want to start the loudest part of your beat, and go from there. So you go loud party beat. I'm gonna detach it so it don't go nowhere. And here we go. And instantly you can hear a big difference. Like it got louder, you know, everything comes forward. And just like I said, limiting is just bringing everything to the front. Now, if I take the limiter off, it's going to just dramatically dip in volume. Let's watch. And like I said, you can really get some professional sounding stuff with just a little bit of limiting. Now, a lot of people, they'll crank it all the way up and get it super loud and thinking, oh, that's bad, and putting the car and it's all muffled and distorted and it's garbage. But like I said, when it comes to limiting, you really, really, really want to be gentle with it and be careful, because if you limit too much, you'll hypercompress it. If you hypercompress it, it's going to sound bad. So make sure you be very careful. Like I said, make sure everything's just very transparent. Like I said, you just want to get it loud. You don't want to get it loud and distorted and loud and bad, loud and crappy. You want it loud and stay. You want to still, you pretty much want to take your perfectly mixed beat and just bring it up and just stretch it out and make it, you know, a little bit better without going so far to where it's just distorting. And also another thing, when you're limiting, a lot of limiters come with dithering. Now, what is dithering? Dithering is basically taking a higher bit rate, which like 24 bits, and then converting it down to 16 bits. Because when you convert it from 24 to 16 bit, you actually lose information. What dithering does is it takes that higher information, brings it down, and then that lost information actually adds noise into that lost information of 16-bit to kind of still retain the 16-bit kind of feeling, but you know, not really, because 16-bit is mostly studio quality and what a lot of professionals use. Like I use 24-bit all the time, but when you're put stuff on CDs and MP3s, you want to use it online, you got to use 16-bit. So you don't want to, because when you, like I said, once you go from a higher codec to a lower codec, you actually lose the information. So dithering will keep it to where, you know, it's adding some noise in there to keep it retained. So right here, this dithering right here, I'll turn it on to 16-bit, because like I said, we're going from 24-bit to 16-bit. And then you could change the noise, the basic optimize. I usually like optimize the basic, just leave it at whatever is like normal. Some are like normal, some are high, low, whatever. You gotta just listen to it, see what this is. Very subtle difference, but it does make a big difference in the end, because once you constantly convert stuff, you keep on losing resolution over and over and over. So if you're gonna bounce it to like MP3, make sure you put it at, you dither it, so that way you're not losing information. Now I'm gonna render out this beat real quick, and then I'm gonna show you what a mastered beat looks like versus this, so you can actually see the visual difference of this beat. So we're gonna export MP3. We're gonna just send to the desktop MP3, and then we're gonna just 24. We're gonna just use MP3. The highest bit rate we can go, because the higher the bit rate, the better. And then we're just gonna render it. FL Studio renders pretty fast. One thing I like about it. So you're about to see right now firsthand what a very well mixed beat look like compared to a nicely or pretty decently, in my opinion, master. So FL Studio, I'm probably gonna cut it to make it go faster. All right, we're back. Now, as you can see, I just imported the mastered beat versus the mixed beat. And as you can see, the waveforms are dramatically different. They're just louder. They're bigger. Because when you master beat, like I said, you're just stretching out the sound and getting that volume. Now, as you can see, if I zoom in, right here, it hits the ceiling. Once it hits the ceiling, you get no more volume past that note. That's why you got to want to set your ceiling very carefully, because that can prevent you from distorting. Like, but if you can actually still distort, even if your ceiling's set. So if you push it too hard, push the threshold too hard, you can still distort with the ceiling. So I'll play the beats back to back, and you can actually hear the difference this way. So we'll solo this one, then we'll go back and forth. There we go. as you can hear, the master is a lot better than the mix. Everything's cleaner, everything's in your face. You can hear everything is nice and loud, but not distorted. It's where we want to be. And that's what you want to do when mastering. You want to have it sounding nice, consistent, and just evening it out and just enhancing it. That's it. Because that's the whole point of this whole series I did, is to show you that mastering does not have to be something where you just throw on a limiter, crank it up, and then, oh, it's loud. No, don't do that. You got to, little bitty things all the way through the chain will make a big dramatic difference. And as you can see visually, how doing all these little bitty things on down the mastering chain actually made the volume and make everything a lot better, a lot bigger, a lot more, you know, radio ready, professional, however you want to, you know, say it. But so I hope this helped out. You know, it was a fun little series. I really enjoyed it. I got a lot of good feedback. People really seem to like this type of stuff. I'll definitely do more series like this if you want it, like vocals and stuff like that. Just let me know in the comments below. Like I said, go back and check out all the other parts so you can really, you know, and practice this stuff. That you can't do it one time and to be able, you have to practice this in order to get better at it. Point blank, period. I can't stress that enough. Keep trying, keep doing it, make mistakes, let people hear it, get criticism, get feedback, and then go on. So with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Once again, your boy Slim, aka MrDifferent. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel and y'all can catch all my streams, because I'm streaming out a lot. I'm having fun with the gaming streams and the music streams. People are really enjoying it. I'm trying to get to at least 100 or so viewers all at once. You know, we just keep on growing as a channel, all that. So with that being said, hope y'all enjoy. Y'all know who it is, your boy Slim, aka MrDifferent. Mr. Not motivated by the money, but the like, comment, subscribe, and views. So I shall see y'all in the next video. So please thumb it up, let me know what you think, and I'll catch y'all next time. Have a good one.